How to read someone instantly. 1. How are they dressed? Their clothing may reveal information about their personality or way of life. Look for anything unusual about their clothing choices. Someone dressed entirely in luxury clothing may be overly concerned with their appearance and what others think of them. A young mom wearing a hoodie with jeans and a messy bun, on the other hand, may be fighting to find time for herself. A brilliantly colored pair of socks may indicate that they have a good sense of humor, while a fine watch may indicate that they value punctuality. Someone who dresses in bright or strong colors may be more at ease with attention, whereas someone who dresses in muted neutral tones may want to avoid the spotlight. Someone who dresses in edgy styles may be defiant of authority, whereas someone who dresses in traditional, timeless styles may cherish tradition and predictability. Look for products that reflect their values, such as a religious-themed bracelet or a t-shirt from a company that supports wildlife protection. 2. What are their facial expressions saying? Faces can express 6 different emotions. Joy, anger, surprise, fear, sadness, and contempt are common indicators of how someone is feeling. However, there are other subtle facial indications that can provide you with much more information. Raising their brows if they're pleased to see you, crinkling their eyes if they're smiling, honestly squinting their eyes if they disagree or are perplexed, pursing their lips could indicate anger, bitterness, or contempt, clenching their jaw could indicate tension or anger, known as a micro-expression. 3. Is the person making eye contact? Eye contact is frequently an indication of self-assurance. When someone initiates eye contact with you when you first meet them, it could indicate that they are confident and at ease in a social situation. If they won't meet your gaze, they may be self-conscious. However, it's worth noting that some people have trouble making eye contact even when they're generally confident. Take note of anything else you notice in the person's gaze. Do they appear to be warm and friendly or chilly and unwelcoming? Are they truly interested in what you have to say? Do they appear irritated? 4. Is their body language opened or closed? Their posture might reveal how relaxed they are. They're probably feeling relaxed and confident if they're sitting or standing with their arms open and shoulders back. This could indicate that they're willing to interact with you. On the other side, if their arms are crossed and their shoulders are stooped, they may be attempting to close themselves off, indicating that they are nervous or insecure, or that they are concealing something. Also, look at their hands. If their fingers are spread apart, they are likely confident. They may be feeling insecure if their hand is closed. Keep in mind that this is just one possible indication to a person's general attitude and personality. It may not imply much on its own, but when combined with other characteristics, you may be able to learn more about them. 5. Do they seem relaxed or fidgety? Fidgeting frequently can indicate that someone is worried or nervous. They may touch their face or hair, pick at their fingers, bite their lips, or tap their foot. Don't jump to conclusions because it's difficult to tell what's making them nervous enough to fidget. Simply take note of it and consider how it contributes to your overall perception. Touching their neck, rubbing their hands together, or massaging their chest are examples of other nervous actions. 6. Are they finding reasons to touch you? Physical contact could indicate that they are interested in you. Pay attention to whether they brush their hand, arm, or leg against you if you're on a date or hanging out with someone you could be interested in. These small details could be their way of seeing if you're interested in them. Pay attention to how they interact with others. Do they frequently hug or touch people on the shoulder? If that's the case, it could just be how they interact with everyone. Leaning their body toward you or instinctively copying your gestures are further signals that someone finds you appealing. 7. How do they respond to basic questions? This will provide you with a benchmark for their actions. Where are you from, and what do you like to do for fun, are good questions to ask. Most people will answer these questions honestly, so they're a good way to get a sense of how they act when they're telling the truth. Ask these questions in a friendly, casual tone. The more at ease you can make someone, the more genuine they will be. Take note of their tone of voice, volume of speech, facial expressions, and body language as they respond to these simple questions. 8. What makes them deviate from their baseline? Small alterations can indicate that they are uneasy. It will be simpler to discern whether someone is tense, nervous, or agitated once you see how they appear when they are comfortable and natural. Understanding where these sensitive areas are located can reveal information about the person beneath the surface. If you inquire about their family, for example, you may observe that they appear tense. This is a strong indicator that their relationship is strained. When discussing their job, they may become flushed or stammer. This could indicate that they are insecure about their profession. If they suddenly become louder while you're speaking, you might have touched on something that makes them feel passionate or angry. 9. Are there any tells that could indicate a lie? When people lie, they may unintentionally signal it. Unfortunately, there is no universal indicator that someone is lying to you. If someone does one of these behaviors while talking, pay attention to what they just said. Possible it was untruthful. These are some of them: touching their face or hair, sweating a lot, clearing their throat or taking a drink, avoiding eye contact or staring, speaking in a higher-pitched voice than normal, using a lot of filler words like or ah, going pale in the face, darting their eyes back and forth, blinking rapidly. 10. Do they talk more than they listen? This could suggest that the individual is self-centered. Do you believe you have an equal amount of time to express yourself during a conversation? If a person does not take the time to listen to the person with whom they are conversing, they may suffer with empathy. It doesn't necessarily imply they're a nasty person, but knowing if someone is self-absorbed early on can be beneficial. They may have a narcissistic personality if you leave the conversation feeling that they weren't interested in getting to know you. When meeting someone for the first time, some individuals get nervous and talk a lot, but keep in mind that this is just one part of the picture. 11. Do they brag about their possessions or accomplishments? It's possible they're attempting to impress you. Some people believe that getting others' approval is crucial. If you're talking to someone and they keep mentioning how much money they make, how many automobiles they own, or how many Instagram followers they have, they can be obsessed with their appearance. This may make the person appear haughty, but it is actually a symptom that they are dealing with insecurities. 12. Do they talk badly about other people? Gossip might indicate the presence of a poisonous personality. If someone is willing to criticize others when they are not around, chances are they will do the same to you. It's usually best to avoid any close personal relationships with that person if you observe this. For example, if you're out on a date and someone says a lot of terrible things about their ex, it could be a clue they're not taking responsibility for what went wrong. 13. Could any cultural differences be affecting your impression? Consider how this might influence their body language. When you're assessing someone simply on the basis of your own experiences, it can be difficult to read them. Making eye contact, for example, is considered disrespectful in some cultures. If you don't consider this, you can conclude that the individual is lying because they won't look you in the eyes. A person's culture may influence how close they stand to you, how they shake hands, and even how quickly they react to questions. 14. What is your gut telling you? Add everything together, then trust your gut. There are many signs you can use to gain a sense of someone, but there are also factors that are difficult to quantify, such as their energy level. If you get an uneasy feeling about someone, consider where it came from and look for proof that proves your suspicions were correct. If your intuition tells you that someone is depressed, for example, you may be picking up on indications that you aren't aware of straight away. You may afterwards notice that the person kept their eyes down and spoke in a low tone for the majority of the chat. Intuition isn't always correct, but with practice and time, you can improve your people instincts.